Shorty look chop. Hold on. Hold on. Damn, I look kind of crusty today. What's going on? What the hell is this? Pause. I think it's deodorant. All right, that looks better. Pretending y'all didn't see that. Hi guys. You look more energetic. Can you guys tell I took a sick day of work today? I was like sick all day in my bed. Not that y'all can hear it. Today we're gonna be roasting your college. I'm gonna be talking smack. Let's get into it. I have some questions. I'm gonna be answering. Let me pull it up real quick. Hold on. I am blessed. Every day of my life, I am blessed. Ooh, let me know. Isn't there copyright on this stuff? I just realized I can't even sing. Hey, ask me a question. I have some questions too that I'm going to answer. I'm just pulling them up. So if you have a question in the meantime, let's get into it. But today I'm going to be roasting your college. So tell me, where are you going? Where are you enrolled? Where did you go? You want to hear some good news, you guys? Guess what? I got promoted at work last week. My first corporate promotion. You guys, they've been having me working hard. Like, yo, can I tell you something? Let me take this gum out. I'm so sorry. I'm being rude. You guys, tell me why. I was talking to my mentor and she was like, Melissa, like, you think corporate life is going to be easy? You got to treat it like it's finals week. You got to work hard. Corporate is hard. It's finals week every single week. Q4, finals week. Q3, finals week. When she told me that, I was like, what do you mean? I thought the whole point of going to college is to have an easier life after college. Not for it to just be hard and then harder and then hardest and then hard again. So that really blew me. I'm not gonna hold y'all. So if y'all think that after these exams, life is gonna get easier, I'm here to tell you that is not the case. According to my mentor, Laquita, someone said I went to DePaul and Latoya College for my bachelor's. DePaul and wait, not Latoya, sorry, Loyola. My apologies. Y'all know I wear glasses. Let me zoom in because I can't see. The ink was too small. Ooh. So you went there for your BA. What did you study? What's your major? And how did you like it? Were you living on campus? I feel like a lot of those types of schools, they don't really have like a big dorm life. What do you think? Like, is dorm life important to you? Also, how do you say your name? E? I'm gonna call you E for now. You guys see I'm representing Chicago today. This is actually a little giftiana. I actually went to Chicago for the first time last fall, and I went to go see the what is it called? The ball, the bowl, the pin, the point, the big circle. What is that called? Let me ask ChatGPT. What are your thoughts on nursing as a stepping stone for a total different career, maybe entrepreneurship, law, or business? The bean, yes, that's the name. Yes, I took pictures under the bean. That was kind of cute. Okay, number 2. So Gerald asked this question. My thoughts on nursing as a stepping stone for a total different career. I honestly think that's a good idea. Nursing, the thing is if you are interested in entrepreneurship and you have an undergrad degree in nursing, you picking up where I'm headed here, you could work in the healthcare sector as an entrepreneur, whether that is like maybe like supplying hospitals, or like, so that would mean like you finding some kind of like vendor or something like abroad, and then supplying hospitals with like, I don't know, like gloves or like medical supplies and kind of like doing something within like operations. I could see that. I think having a nursing background could be helpful. Also, tell me if you guys have seen this. I've noticed that in like the last 2 to 3 years, where like subscription models have become a lot more prevalent. Like I think every single business at this point has has some kind of subscription model, whether it's like Foot Locker, Apple, Nike, like even Instagram at this point. Like you can subscribe to different individuals and like see additional content or I'm not gonna say exclusive because you know what that alludes to, but we'll say subscribe. That being said, so there's a lot of small, quote unquote, small businesses. For example, there's one in New York called TIA, TIA, and it's like a healthcare startup. I don't know what you want to call it, but essentially they're like a hospital or like they are providers for like medical care, but they have like a subscription model. So they have like their TIA members, and their TIA members are people who like pay per month to like have access to like doctors, nurses, like I don't know, whatever other, they're like a women's health clinic, but like whatever other things that women might need. So they like might have like super cool like partnerships with like even like supplement companies for like women's health, or they have like programs for like, reproductive issues, if you will, or, things like that. So I feel like if you are pursuing a career in nursing, it can give you the backbone for a lot of different business models. Like I said, like becoming a supplier to some entity, having some kind of clinic that targets specific user needs, like in the marketplace, that maybe like a traditional hospital or a traditional like PCP, which is a primary care physician, couldn't provide. So for example, like someone like me, like I go to TIA as opposed to just going to a random like doctor in New York City because they're like a women's health clinic, and I have certain things with like my reproductive system that I would prefer or feel more safe as a woman, especially a woman of color, if I went to a clinic like that. In terms of law and business, I'm not sure. Nursing, are you interested in like malpractice law? And then for business, I mean, I already explained business, but yeah, thanks for your comment, Gerald. Okay, next comment we have, that's actually a nice idea, but how would I start this business? How would I get capital, meet new people? That's actually funny, you guys. So I have an upcoming street interview coming up. I'm sure you guys are wondering where the street interviews have been, you guys. It's been snowing in New York for the last 3 weeks. That is what's been happening. So I have not had a chance to shoot, but I did go out yesterday and I shot a bunch of content, and I was actually talking to business owners. So I literally have an interview coming up where someone is talking about how they were able to fund their startup. To be honest, you guys, I'm sure you already know this, but a lot of startups are getting their money, whether it's personally, like it's like usually bootstrapped. So like usually the founder is having some type of capital that they're using to start their business, whether it's like $20,000, $25,000, or like $10,000, or $50,000, or $250,000. So a portion of it is from yourself. You could obviously get a loan, but that's not pretty common, I feel like. If you watch a show like Shark Tank or things like that, you'll notice a lot of people typically don't really get loans. They usually have money from themselves, like they've like made smart investment choices, or they've cashed in on their equity from their company, and that's how they've been able to like bootstrap their startup. So they like literally cash in. Like for example, like me, I'm an employee, right? I work in big tech, and let's say when I signed my offer letter, I had like a 200K like stock, what is it, stock portfolio, whatever, stock package. They're called restricted stock units in the industry. So like the longer I'm at the company, the more percentages of the stock clears. So like, let's say the average is like 5 years. You got to work there for 5 years to get 100% of your stock. So once I get 100% of my stock, I do my time. I can like cash in, and I could like self-fund my own business if I wanted to. Those are some ideas, Gerald. I don't know. What do you think? You give me some ideas. How would you bootstrap a startup? In terms of like meeting people, I mean, for one, I feel like if you live in a major hub, that's how you meet people. And I'm not saying a major hub has to be New York City, but you have to think about your business model. Like, where can you meet either one, investors, or two, like do some kind of like market research. So what does that mean? Like doing surveys, This is literally what the person I talked to yesterday told me. He has a tech startup, and it's for creators. It's actually for like influencers and creators, and it's like a media agency startup. It's called Click. I'll type it below. Whew. Okay. I'm going to go on to the next question, but Gerald, feel free to ask me follow-ups because I've been rambling enough. Okay. I want to do Part 2 for a bachelor's in philosophy. Okay. I got into Harvard's master's program, but deferred enrollment until fall 2026. Well, what? 6 months. What are we thinking? Are you going to Harvard this fall? Also, what have you been doing in the meantime? Like, you deferred enrollment, so I'm assuming you might have like full-time employment somewhere. So what has life been looking like today? Where are you working? What are you doing? For the master's program, if you did an undergrad degree in philosophy, I wonder what your master's degree is in. I feel like most people I meet who study philosophy usually go into law school. But you tell me, what is it giving? Also, you guys, please feel free to give a thumbs up to this live. Give me a thumbs up. We've been talking about Harvard, starting your own startup, capital, funding, how to meet people, working in specific hubs. We talked about nursing. Give me a thumbs up. Come on, show some love. You want me to roast Harvard? I know you don't want to roast Harvard. I do front-end development now. Okay, cool. So engineering. That's really cool. Wait, so like you study philosophy, you're doing front-end dev work, and then you're going to go to a master's program? What are you studying for the master's program? Roast U Chicago. Dang. You guys, I made a choice wearing this shirt today, didn't I? You guys do realize, like, I don't know nothing about Chicago. I went to Chicago for the first time, like, last October or September or something like that. U Chicago is windy. You go there to freeze your ass off. Like, that's the only thing I could say. No, don't roast Harvard. That's something I could say about U Chicago. I feel like people in the Midwest, y'all be having a funny little accent. That's another thing I will say. U Chicago gives me the vibe that like most of the students that go there aren't even from Chicago for real. Like I feel like it's one of those like melting pot, like port cities where it's like everyone is not from there. And like I know here, for example, I'm from Massachusetts, right? And one thing that's funny about Massachusetts is like there's like this like funny stereotype. Is it a stereotype? I guess it is. It's like a stereotype that like they'll give more money to a student that's out of state than they will give to students that are from the state. Is that Massachusetts or Rhode Island? I think where's that, Vermont? One of the states in the Northeast. So like I'm from the Northeast. So what does that mean? Me being from Massachusetts, if I applied to like University of Vermont, I would still get this thing called like a regional price tuition. So I wouldn't have to pay out-of-state tuition. It wouldn't be as expensive as out-of-state, but it wouldn't be as cheap as in-state. And so a lot of like these schools in the Northeast where I'm from, for example, they will like give more aid to someone coming from like Hawaii or like Georgia than they would like me, even though I'm from there. Damn, y'all talking a lot. I can't keep up. Masters in literature. Ali, what you fun to do with the masters in literature? Fill me in real quick. Give me your vision because I'm having a hard time seeing the vision. So we did philosophy, then front end development, and now literature. Are you trying to become like an author? It's true. So many international students here. Yeah, that's what U Chicago gives. Chicago gives like all the students that go there aren't even from there. It's almost kind of like University of Boston. Have y'all ever been there? Y'all heard of that school? BU? It's like the same vibe. A lot of international students. A lot of students paying full price. Wait, where is Massachusetts? Where in Massachusetts? I'm from Foxborough. You from South Massachusetts. Come on. That's different. I'm not going to lie. Me and my friends used to have jokes. And we used to say that anyone who lives like Fall River and south of Massachusetts is like basically from Rhode Island. Foxborough's not that far though, but it's close. I'm from north. So I'm from a little town called Melrose, Massachusetts. We're like 15 minutes outside of Boston on the Purple Line, Wyoming Ave. Thank you very much. That's where I'm from. Yeah, most people that go to colleges in Chicago aren't from here. They're mostly from the Midwest. Ooh. That's another thing. Like the Midwest with them accents, I don't know if I could do it. The accent, you guys. But I hear y'all are really nice though, so maybe the niceness makes up for it. It's almost like I feel like people from the Midwest are like people from Canada. It's like, like Canadians are known for being really nice. The weather is known to be shit. They got a funny accent. People in Toronto specifically. That's like the same thing as like Midwest people. Montel Hall says, I went to DeVry University. How can I work at Microsoft? Microsoft, that's such a specific company. Working at Microsoft, I will say most of my friends that I know who work at Microsoft, they came in as new grads. I have yet to see like a Google to Microsoft or like an Amazon to Microsoft. Actually, I do. I do be seeing Amazon to Microsoft conversions, but they're older. People in like their 30s. I'm trolling him. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, most people. Okay, next question. Academia plus I just want that Harvard degree for bragging rights. Why do you blur the background? I don't. It's like it's automatically set. Y'all, you want to see my background? You getting nosy, Ali? Let me see. Can I change it? I don't even know, guys. I don't think I can change it. There's no. The only button I have here. Oh, there's an edit button. Yeah, no, I can't change it. The only button I have is like my mic and then my sharing my screen. You guys, give my video a thumbs up. You only got 2 thumbs up. Y'all can't press a button. Please show love. I'm in my 30s. Should I start school? Johnny Jones, you trying to start school? Honestly, I don't know. I don't think if someone is in their 30s and they have a very specific goal, like they're at a current company and the company's like, hey, if you want this promotion, you need to go back to school. Like if it was incredibly specific, I think it could be valuable. But if that's not your situation, being in your 30s, like you have responsibilities at that point, right? You might have a family, you might have credit card debt, a mortgage, you might have sick parents, even. Like you have a lot of responsibility. So I just feel like if you're in your 30s and it's not a specific reason, I don't know about it. And I also think I would say if you already started your degree, so if you were someone who dropped out of college or you already have college credits from like the military or from like you're able to convert your years in your field of work to college credits, because I know some schools, like some online schools, do that. If you're in that type of situation, it makes more sense. If you could get like 30 credits of college covered, maybe like 30 to 60 credits covered, that puts you at like 2 years to finish the degree, right? And if you really wanted to hustle, you could take summer classes and you could take like winter classes to finish. So like if you could get it done within a year and a half, I think it's worth it. But if it's going to take you 4 years in your 30s, I think that's egregious. I don't know. Unless you really want that degree for some reason, I personally wouldn't, because shoot, I'm in my 20s and I don't even want to go back to grad school. I don't. I used to think I wanted to go to business school, and I don't really even know if I want to do that for real anymore. Okay, cool. What did you study? Ali, you want to know what I studied in school? I studied, can you guess? Give me your best guess. I'm going to let you know. Harvard or Yale? Ooh. You putting me in a tough predicament. I'm not going to lie. If I got into business school and I got into HBS, I'm not going to Yale. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to Yale. If I got into undergrad, would I pick Yale or Harvard? I feel like I would pick Yale for undergrad more than grad school, because I really like that Yale is in New Haven, Connecticut, and I feel like the neighborhood is much more diverse than Boston, Massachusetts. I think when you're in like your early 20s, your teenage years, like, 18, 19, 20, like those years, I feel like that's a time in your life when I feel like you're finding yourself. And I think as a person of color, I'm personally already from like a predominantly white city, town, whatever you want to call it. And so I would want to find something more diverse in that period of my life. She studied art history. You're a troll. I'm screaming. Probably like finance, something in business. You're right. I studied quantitative economics. and I minored in statistics and data science. That is my degree. That is my degree. I went to a women's college, funny enough. That's always like a fun like conversation starter because who the hell does that, right? But back to my point, what was I saying about that diversity? Yeah, I think I would go to Yale undergrad, Harvard grad. So I feel like they both kind of win. But for me personally, at this point in my life, I'm going to Harvard for my MBA if I go back for it. But I'm not applying to any other program. I would consider law school. Yo, have you guys ever heard of like a what is it called? There's like a field of law. Oh my gosh. It's called like it starts with a P. Law P. What's it's called like there's like some field of law, private equity, something like that. But like you make a lot of money. I think it's like intellectual property, something like that law. So like, okay, IP law. I think that's what it's called. IP law, yes, intellectual property. Yo, they make guap. I feel like someone with a tech background, like I would go to law school and then become like an IP lawyer and make bank. I feel like straight out of school they'd be making like 250. So that's what I would do. Shoot. Art history is crazy. Shoot, why is that crazy? What if I really liked art? What if I made this shirt? Like you don't what do you mean? You guys, I've been sick all day. I literally have been sick, but I'm feeling a lot better. Give me some more questions. I need to be mentally stimulated. Let me look up the salary for IP law. My homegirl is actually in she's in a master's program right now at Tufts. You see, approximately $199,000 a year, you guys. And it says right here, the average salary for IP lawyers in the United States is approximately $200K as of 2024. Entry-level IP lawyers start around $125, while senior attorneys can earn over $320 or more. Salaries can vary based on location, with some states offering higher pay packages due to the demand for IP law professionals. See, someone like me coming from a tech background, I feel like this makes more sense than business school. I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I'm back and forth, but it's kind of funny, you guys, because I just got into I literally just got into a MBA program, like a prep program, and it's supposed to be 2 years long, and I literally just got into it like last fall, and it's crazy because like the whole process of applying to it and then getting into it made me realize I don't think I even want an MBA. Is that crazy? Mind you guys, I spent $1,000. Like, why did I have to spend $1,000 to make that decision? That's crazy. Anyways, you give me New York vibes. You guys, I live in New York. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Nah, I'm definitely not. I feel like I'm not aggressive. I have homegirls who are from New York, and I promise we're not the same. I love them, though. If they're watching this, I love y'all. But we are not the same. I'm definitely Boston. Okay. Wouldn't starting a business be better since your salary won't be capped like it would for being a lawyer? Duh. I mean, I'm just saying, like, Ollie, I'm just throwing shit up in the air, like seeing what sticks. Like, I'm just saying, like, as someone who does this work, right, and like thinks about like life design and what kind of life do you want? What's your dream life? How are you gonna get there the quickest, the fastest, the easiest? As someone who does this work, like, I just feel like an MBA. Okay, let me tell you the real lore behind why I realized like I don't think I want to do an MBA for real. It's multiple things. But let's get into it. Number one, you guys, all of like my favorite like influencers that I follow, right, that are like 3 to 5 years older than me. Let's say 2 to 5 years older than me, right? All of them who had dreams of going to grad school, there's groups of ones who did, and there's groups of ones who didn't. Most of them did end up going, like the people that I was following right very closely, they ended up going to grad school. And what I've noticed is that one, their content career have slowed all the way down. Their engagement is down. Their following has stalled. I don't know. It just like it gives boring. And when they be making them day in my life, I'm bored. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to see you buy a matcha latte and go sit in a lecture and you 27. I don't want to see that. I want to see the girlies that are want to yacht outside getting promoted. I'm so sorry. I just feel like I don't know. Maybe it's just me. And I don't think, but the thing is, I know it's not just me because their following has slowed down. So it's not just me. I'm not the only one. Number two, second reason. Think about how much money you're losing on the years you're in school, you guys. Think about compound interest. If I have 3 years in my 20s that I'm working in corporate America and I'm contributing to my 401k, my Roth IRA, and my HSA, I'm maxing all three of them Johns out. I'm maxing all three out, and I'm getting an employer match in some of them because my employer's child, they give you $1,000 on your HSA every single year, and they match 50% for your 401k. So that's like how much? Probably like maybe 45, a little under 40, like $40,000 to $45,000 a year that is being invested, right? In my 20s, mind you. Do y'all know how compound interest works? Like, you never gonna get that time back. 3 years maxing out your 401k in your 20 can be the difference between like $100,000 and like $700,000 by the time you're like 40 or 50. So it's just like the amount of time it's gonna take me to get this degree and then how much money I'm gonna lose out on my investment portfolio, it's not making sense. It's not making sense. It's not making sense, especially with the fact that like most people my age, you guys, I don't really talk about my age, but you guys, I'm 23. Most people my age, I feel like, are becoming millionaires from content, entrepreneurship, and maybe equity from working in like big tech or like working at big companies, big firms. Like, according to my research, most people under 25 in 2026, that's how they're becoming millionaires. And I also just have a personal belief that I think content creators are like the next wave of millionaires. Someone says, I'm going to be working 100 hours a week in law. Don't say that. Stop. I'm in denial. Denial is a river in Egypt. I'm in denial. Someone said, I wanted to go to law school for a long time and actually got into a good ones during COVID, but being a lawyer sucks. You work like 80 hours a week for a low 6-figure salary. That is true. And again, I work in big tech, so it's like, I'm not going to say too much. Well, what they say, y'all ever seen that meme where it'd be like, if I win the lottery, I won't say nothing, but there'll be signs? Like, I feel like that's me in big tech right now. Like, you know, definitely can't say that I'm rich, but like, there are signs. I'm not going to say more. Someone said, I noticed you said you had an editor. How much roughly per video? Say, for example, per 10-minute video, how much do you think you would pay an editor? Okay, if I had a 10-minute video of raw footage, how much would my editor probably charge me? Probably anywhere between like $85 to like $300, I would say, is a range. You could find someone for as cheap as like, I would say like 85. You would just have to find them. And if your best method of finding an editor is going to like Fiverr, I feel like you might be a little cooked. I don't really know how to use Fiverr, but I'm pretty sure there's a way you can filter for location. So if I were you and I was trying to find the cheapest editor possible, one, I would ask people, anyone you know who makes content, literally ask them and be like, connect me with your editor today. Right now. Second, or even like Facebook Marketplace. And I would like search for video editing or YouTube video editing, but I would make sure to look for locations that have a lower, this is really bad advice. This is so American, but like I'm keeping it a buck. If you want to find the cheapest editor you can find, you need to find someone who lives in a country where the American dollar is stronger. So I'm not going to say which countries because I don't want to get too political. You do the math. And they're probably going to charge you a lot less. So yeah. But like I said, anyone who's posting on Fiverr is already going to charge you more money because they are like an entrepreneur. Like, I would say if I were you, I would be going to a college's Instagram account, look up their art school or their film school and try and find a student. Like, if I were you, that's what I would do. Because the way I found my editors, I literally ask people, if you go online, someone who's marketing themselves is already going to try and charge you more because like they are doing this as their only source of income. Like, you got to find someone who already has like something else that they're doing, but they're trying to make maybe extra money on the side. You feel me? That's when you're going to find someone that's like reasonable, or outsource to another country. Because if you look for an editor in the United States of America, it's going to be $300, $400, $200 minimum. Okay. Do you know how many people? Do you know any people that work 2 remote jobs at the same time? I know one person who's trying to do that right now. He hasn't done it yet, but I would say the person that I do know who's about to start doing that because he's already signed his offers. Both of his remote jobs are like not crazy. Like I don't know. Like I don't think anyone who works at like a major FANG company would take that risk because one, it's like your reputation. Like you don't want to get blackballed by like Apple. Like that would be kind of crazy, especially if you're at the start of your career. But I would say if you are going to do that, you should do it with like smaller companies, not small companies, but like do it for like, I don't know, like John Deere. Like they're still a big company, but they're not Meta. So it's like, like if you were to never be able to work for that company again in your life, like would you be tight? If you're not, then F it. That's what I would say. I would say aim for like 2 low end job. The low end is a wrong word, but like you know what I mean. Like it would be like with the schools, like someone trying to enroll in Harvard and Yale at the same time. Like that's kind of crazy. Like you could probably get away with it if it's like you go into like community college and then you go to like UMass Amherst. Like you could probably swing it. That's what I would say. Reply, my dream is to have my own fashion brand or a company with something I've created or something that supplies people in need, but I'm not like a fashion designer or anything. Say no to law school. Oh my gosh, thank you for the $1 bill. Thank you. My dream is to have my own fashion brand or company with something I created or something that supplies that people need. Okay, so Gerald, if I understand correctly, you want to be a supplier for like the everyday user. So like scrubs, or maybe like what's something else that people wear, like shoes. I mean, if I were you, this is what I would do. Look up one of your dream brands that does the same thing you want to do, right? Look them up and look up their 10K or 10Q. I believe that's what it's called, right? Look up their 10K. And based on their 10K, you can kind of take a peek at how much money they are investing in their business model. And then that can help you figure out like how much money would it cost for me to like design my own pair of scrubs? Like look up figs, for example. Look them up. And then go on Alibaba and look up like scrub vendors or something. I don't know. And figure out like how much do things cost on average? How much would you need to charge more? Where would you store your stuff? Would you want to keep all of your supplies in-house, or do you want all of your supplies like to be shipped directly from the manufacturer to the consumer? Like just like do research. Figure that out. That's what I would do. You say you're in tech. How do you get past the boring and the cringe cornball? No disrespect to my nerds, corny, as in bad timing jokes and rambling about inducing topics. I work in tech and I work with nerds. How do I get over the boring and cringe cornballs? That's a really good question. Well, this is tough because it's like someone could easily say I'm a nerd and I'm a cornball, right? Like I feel like everything is relative. There are people that I work with that are like you said, like, I'm not going to say too much, but I'm going to say like emphasis on the corn, emphasis on the ball, like emphasis on the corn and cornball. There are definitely people like that I work with, but I don't work closely with them. I feel like at the end of the day, though, like, this sounds so corny, but it's like, it's true. Like, it's about a right fit. Like, if you work on a team with people that you generally think are mad corny and mad lame and you don't F with them, like, you can switch teams. Because not everyone in tech is a super cornball. Like, most people are, but it's not every single body. So, like, I would say, like, for one, it depends on what type of tech company you're in. If you're in a remote setting, one thing that's amazing is like, at the end of the day, I can put this computer down. Like in between meetings, if I spend 30 minutes or even an hour camera on in a meeting with like laughing at like people's jokes, I'm bored, I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? Like I can go take a break. I could walk out, I'm home. I could go to my rooftop, take a walk, chill. Like that's a beautiful thing about working remote is like you can really take a step away when you need to versus like when you're working in the office with your supervisor, with people who are corny to you, like you in their face. You can't You can't get away. So one, just have more consideration about like your work environment. Are you remote? Are you hybrid? Are you in office? Because that heavily dictates like how you can get past these types of people. And then two, if you are with people that you really don't mess with, like I have a homegirl right now, and she works at a big firm, and she does not like her team. She just graduated though. Like she just finished school like this year, like class of 25, and she started work in the fall. She does not like her team. She's switching teams. Like that's okay. Like people switch teams all the time. You just have to make sure you sell it in a way that fits corporate America. So you have to be like, I want to grow on my network security infrastructure skills. So then you switch to a network. You know what I mean? You switch to that type of team. Don't switch teams by dogging on the other people. You just gotta like make it look like this new team is what you really want to do. That's my advice. Okay. Do you have any advice, tips for starting a YouTube channel? Oof. What's my advice or tips? I'm trolling. What's my advice or tips on starting a YouTube channel? I mean, besides just start, I mean, that sounds so corny, but that's so true. Like, I would say my advice is like, think of like 3 to 5 video concepts. Like, it depends what kind of person you are. I'm the kind of person where I have a lot of ideas. Like to this day, I probably could pull up like 5 different like note apps of like video ideas that I have, and how much of those am I actually executing on, right? So like I'll think of like 5 to 6 video ideas, and then I'll be like, okay, I'll put it into ChatGPT, or I'll put it into like Claude or whatever AI model, or even like you could even ask your friends. Like you could ask your friends. You could even go into YouTube and search up those video ideas. Like let's say you wanted to make a video about like how to tie my shoe, like look up how to tie my shoe on YouTube and see how many views that video is getting. And that kind of lets you know like how popular, how much do people want to see this type of content. So like that's where I would start. I'll be like, okay, boom. I have a list of like 10 things I think I want to make my first video on, right? Then out of those 10 things, figure out which one makes the most sense, whether it's like which one am I most passionate about that I can talk the most about, which one do I have a script for already, which one has the most like searches on YouTube, on Google, on TikTok, like things like that, right? Which one am I seeing on my algorithm? Like whichever one is the most popular, pursue that. And then boom, you have your first video. Film it, plan it, script it, film it, edit it, post it. You started a channel. But that's usually the hardest part. So like in essence, just start, but like, you know, in the way that I explained. Gerald, your second question disappeared. I don't know. Hi, academics suck for me. Nyla, Nix, NYX, Sylvia. Why do academics suck for you, babe? Tell me. Spell this, see what's going on. If I don't want my company to be health related, I mean, I just said health related because you said nursing. At the end of the day, like, that's one thing that I feel like sometimes as planners, we can overthink. Like, think about it like this, Gerald. Let's say you are pursuing your degree in nursing. Like, the more you complete your classes, you meet people, you meet professors, you do internships, or you work in hospitals, the more clear of an idea you're going to have on what kind of business you want. You're not going to have the answer if you just like stay at home all day and look at the wall, right? But like, you'll start to get the answer if you start living your life and step my makeup, right? Like I don't got no makeup on right now for real, right? I have some lip gloss on, but nothing too crazy. Matter of fact, let me reapply. Hold on, it's not coming out. But I'm chatting. What I was trying to say is that like the closer you walk towards your goals, the more you're gonna know what you actually want to do. What do I mean by that? Like I said, let's say my brother, for example, he wants to start a t-shirt business. This is a true story. He wants to start a t-shirt business. And originally he knew he wanted to be in business. But then like, as he started to like explore his ideas and like play around with like websites and like prototypes and models, he figured out like, oh, I want to do clothing. And then he figured out, oh, I want to do t-shirts. Like the more you like work in it, the more clear the vision gets for you. So it's like, you can't statistic like 75% of businesses fail, especially in the restaurant industry. I'm pretty sure like 75% of restaurants fail within their first year. So it's like let's say your dream is to like be a restaurant owner and then your first restaurant fails. Are you going to not ever do a restaurant again? Like maybe you just did it the wrong way. Maybe people wanted a coffee shop and you gave them Thai food. You got to meet what it's like a business is essentially solving a problem in the marketplace. That's all a business is. Think about anything you use, like YouTube. What is YouTube solving in the marketplace? People started to become more online, okay? And people wanted the ability to watch people who weren't actors. Like they wanted to watch stories that weren't hyper produced by Hollywood. That's literally all YouTube is. It's literally people who are creatives or whatever. And that's it. And I'm pretty sure that's not even how YouTube started. YouTube originally started with the music videos, right? So it's like YouTube started for like the music videos. Then, you know, it became about music probably, right? So like artists in general. Then it became like the everyday artist. Then it became about like the everyday creator. You think when like YouTube originally started, they thought me, someone like Mel, would be on live right now, March 2nd, talking about college majors? Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to like walk towards it. And as your idea grows and your consumer base grows, you'll iterate on new prototypes of your business model until you actually have a business that works. But I did get into a couple of study abroad programs in Geneva. So, fun fact about me, I was supposed to study at the University of Genève. My son wants to be a communications major. How can I stop him? Yo, you guys, how can you stop someone from being a communications major? Honestly, if I had a kid who wanted to study communications, what would I do? I would just be like, go study communications at Harvard. Like I would literally tell them, you can study communications if you get to an Ivy. If you can get to an Ivy, you can study whatever you want. That's my rule. If you get to an Ivy, you can study whatever you want. If you don't get into an Ivy, I'm picking your major, respectfully. So how do you stop him? What I just said. If that doesn't work, just tell them to take out loans for their communications degree and see how they feel. Once people realize, like, have you guys ever heard of the saying that like something that's free isn't respected? It's like, I'm saying the saying wrong, but like essentially it's the idea that like if you make something free, people give less of a fuck. So like, what does that mean? Like, what's a good example? Healthcare in Canada. Is that too political? That might be too political. What's something else that's free? What is something else that's free? Give me ideas, guys. What's something that's free that people don't care about? I can't think of an example. Long story short, the idea is like even if you make something cheap or affordable, it should still cost a price. Like even if a family is like, you know, I don't know. It's like a housing assistance. Like people who are on what is that called? Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the name of it. Section 8? That's what it's called. Section 8. People who are on Section 8, they're still paying money to live there. It's a reduced amount, but they're still paying money. If they were actually able to live there for free, like what would happen? Think about it. They might not take care of the property. They might not, take care of the, refrigerator, the appliances within the household, because nothing is free except an allowance. I don't get what you're saying. Nothing is free except an allowance. Help me understand. Please clarify. I guess the point I was trying to make about the free thing is like, if you make your child pay for college or pay a portion of their college education, they're probably going to have a higher respect to like their grades, their effort, their output, because they know it's costing them personally something. If they think that they could just go to whatever school they want, pass, not pass, kind of F off, right? What are the chances that they're going to care about their grades, their major, the return on the investment, etc.? So yeah, they take things for granted. That's the point. You should still make it cost something, even if it's not a lot. Yeah, you guys, it's been 45 minutes. I think it's my time to go. Bye. This was a fun chat.